So many moms feel stuck and isolated, like they've got to keep it all together and can't say how hard it really is. On Let's Get Real, we talk about the real stuff, motherhood, mental health, and everything in between, so you don't feel like you have to carry it alone anymore. Because in order to heal, we have to get real. If you're feeling overwhelmed, grab the Overwhelmed Moms Guide. It's totally free and made to help you feel like yourself again. The link is in the show notes. Let's jump in. What if you could calm your body, shift your emotions, and feel centered again, all in just a few minutes? If you've ever felt like you're running on empty, overstimulated, or one tantrum away from losing it, this episode is for you. We're talking with EFT tapping coach Amy Vincze, who has spent over 16 years helping people use tapping to release stress, anxiety, and the emotional overload that so many moms carry every day. In our last episode, Amy shared what tapping is and why it's so powerful. But today she's going to walk us through it so you can actually experience how it works in real life. Amy, thank you so much for being here today. And I'm really looking forward to diving into this episode of getting to practice what we talked about last time with EFT tapping and what that is. But this time we actually get to go through it practically, experientially. And so I cannot wait for that today. So thanks for being here.
I'm excited too. Yeah. Thanks for having me again.
Awesome. Well, before we jump into doing this, can you just give us a quick refresher on what exactly EFT tapping is and why it is such an effective way to calm our minds and bodies in moments of overwhelm?
Absolutely. It's a really powerful combination of 3 different modalities. Energy healing, really similar to acupuncture, but we're using the percussion of tapping on our acupressure points instead of the needles. And then there's a cognitive therapy aspect because we're talking about what we want to release while we're doing the tapping. And then somatic therapy, which gets us grounded in the present moment when we're tapping on our bodies, which is the place that we are the most effective and most efficient versions of ourselves.
Oh, so good. Yes.
Yeah. A little bit more. There have been over 300 studies done showing how efficient and how effective this tool is. I'll just give you a few stats from a recent study.
Okay.
It was done over 4 days, and so participants were tapping for 4 days, and in that amount of time, anxiety decreased by 40%. Depression decreased by 35%, PTSD symptoms decreased by 43%, pain decreased by 57%, cravings decreased by 74%, and happiness increased by 31%.
Oh my gosh, that's staggering, significant.
Staggering numbers. And
yes.
While it looks silly and it might feel silly while you're doing it because it's not something we would normally do, it is extremely effective, and I just urge all of your listeners to give it a try with us today.
Yes. Oh my gosh, it's going to be really good. And I love that this is a tool that we can pull out at any time. And so especially when we start to feel those intense feelings of overwhelm or overstimulation, or like you just described in the study, the anxiety, the depression, PTSD symptoms, like there are so many purposes and points that we could use this throughout our day, and it doesn't have to take very long. So, but right before we're going to jump in and do this, what might be a common misconception that people have about tapping that you want to clear up before we begin?
I think the biggest thing that people misunderstand about tapping is how we tend to focus on the negative while we're doing the tapping in the beginning.
Okay.
So, for example, if we have a feeling of overwhelm, we really lean into the overwhelm and all the reasons that we're overwhelmed. And it is intended to give those feelings and emotions a pathway out. And by leaning into them and moving through them, that's how we actually release it. Most people have been conditioned to set those feelings aside and try and put on a happy face and try not to indulge those. I don't think any feelings are negative, but I'm just going to say uncomfortable feelings.
Yeah.
And so people have misunderstood tapping to be, I've had a comment that it was toxic. and it is the farthest thing from toxic, because it really is the pathway of moving through something in order to release it. That's the best way I have found in all of my different modalities that I've tried in my life. This has been the most powerful for that reason, because I'm not avoiding it. I'm leaning into it, and I'm giving it its day in court so that it can finally go, okay, I can go now.
That's really powerful, because it is so true. I think about the conditioning that I had for myself and what I've heard so many other, whether they've been clients in the past or just friends and different people today in my life, where it's just this common belief of thinking, if I speak and say these like negative things or uncomfortable feelings, and I talk about my fears, then that means it's true. And then that means this is going to happen. It's almost like a superstition around it. And we think that if we can just cover it up with positivity, then they'll go away. But it's actually not the way it works. There is a whole pathway forward. And it's almost, I feel like in this, it's trusting the process. It's trusting that as we acknowledge and name those emotions, the fears, the worry, whatever it is that's coming up, like when we tend to spiral and we can finally name it, and it actually leads us into seeing a different perspective and speaking what's true. And it's just like a pathway. I feel like it's a process. There's a process to how this works. And that's what we're going to get to experience today. And we could just, if we can learn to lean in and trust the process, we'll experience the benefits on the other side.
Yeah. And I think there's been a real push towards just leaning into the positive thing because of the law of attraction and how popular the law of attraction has become. Like whatever you put out there is what you get back.
Yeah.
However, I'm just going to say from my own experience, I wasn't able to consistently put out positive feelings and emotions because I had so much trauma that I needed to release. And once I started to kind of lean into those things and release them from my body, that's when I created more space to do things like the law of attraction effectively. So it's not that they don't coexist together. I just think for some people, one has to happen before the other. Yes,
that's such a great point. And I'm glad that you said that. And that is similar to what my experiences have been. As the picture I had, it's almost been like this pile up of garbage, like this trash that I need to take out and be like, okay, we have to take each bag. I have to name it. I have to, because it just was a huge pile up. And then I kept trying to like pretend or jump over and be like, oh, it's not here, when it's a huge mountain. And like, I need to finally deal with this and take the trash out. And then I can receive the good blessings, the positive things that are meant to be in my life, you know?
Yeah, that's the perfect way to explain it. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, could you kind of set the stage of, a scenario or a situation that a mom might find herself in? Some of those emotions, what might be going on at home right before we get to practice tapping?
Yes, absolutely. And I'll just go from my own personal experience when my daughter was young.
Amazing.
I had so many moments of just complete overwhelm, complete feeling so empty inside, so depleted from giving all of my energy to my daughter and to my husband and to the house, and just feeling like I was invisible. I just, there was no more sense of self anymore. My identity, whatever it was before, was completely shattered, and I was overwhelmed and triggered like a lot of the time, triggered into feeling anxious and overwhelmed a lot of the time. And I didn't really understand it then. But thankfully I do now. And this is a really generalized tapping scenario that we're going to do. So we're not going to be able to uncover and heal root causes of this, but we are going to just try and give your listeners a tool for in the moment where they can put a Band-Aid on these feelings of complete overwhelm and emptiness and be able to get themselves grounded in their body again with a sense of themselves and a sense of purpose moving forward.
Oh, That's so good. I'm excited for this.
Yeah. Yeah. Me
Okay,
too.
great. Well, thank you for just kind of setting the stage. This is what is really common for most moms to be feeling. And so then as we move into now getting to practice tapping, I'll let you lead the way and I'll just follow your lead and what you're having us do.
Great. So the first thing we want everybody to do is kind of close your eyes and sink down into your body and try and find the intensity of the feeling of overwhelm on a scale from 0 to 10, because it's really hard to quantify the emotional journey. So we're just trying to get a sense. 0 to 10, where is that number? 0 is nothing. 10 is really extreme. So if you have your number, and hopefully your listeners do too, we're just going to maybe jot that down if you need to. And I'm going to ask you, Jenna, how do you know, what is your number, first of all, if you're open to sharing?
Yes, my number right now is a 6, and I feel it like in my chest. This like, it's almost tight and kind of hot. So
okay, those are good explanations. And emotionally, how do you know it's a 6? What does it feel like emotionally?
Oh gosh, it feels like in my mind, I have to like close my eyes for this and like be able to capture it. And it feels like my mind is racing, and it's almost like my brain's like on a table where it's jittery and it can't settle. So I feel that like it can't, it's having a hard time settling, or there's just like a bunch of open loops that it's trying to like remember or go down. And I'm like, okay, can we just like shut that off?
Yeah. Okay. I'm just taking a little bit of notes so I can use your words in the tapping. Okay. So now that we have that, I'm going to just go over the tapping points really quick so you and your listeners know where I'm tapping while we do this. The first one is going to be, I'm going to show your listeners, but I'm also going to explain. It's right down from your pinky finger. It's the fleshy side of your hand.
Okay.
Down from your pinky finger. And you tap on one hand, or I tend to tap those spots together using both hands. I figure I'm doing this, I might as well tap on both sides of my body. Okay. Because the energy meridians are from this side, 14 on this side. So I don't know if it's more effective doing it this way. I don't know of any studies that have been done about that. I just like to assume I'm getting the most bang for my buck by tapping on both sides of my body. Okay. So that's the first spot we're going to tap on. And this is where we're going to say something called a setup phrase. Something like, even though I am completely overwhelmed right now, I still love and honor myself anyway. Okay. We're going to say that 3 times. And then we're going to go to what's called repeater phrases on the rest of the tapping points. So I'm going to explain them to your listeners. The first one is at the very beginning of your eyebrow point. I like to tap on both sides of my body again, and using a couple fingers to make sure that I'm covering the points. Because this is an area that I will encourage you to be a perfectionist. One of the only areas I would ever do that. Because if you're tapping somewhere in the middle of your forehead, not nearly as effective. So it has to be right at the beginning of your eyebrow points. The second one is at the side of your eye, right at your temple. And then under your eye, right on top of your cheekbones. And then under your nose, under your mouth, and then collarbone is the next one. So if you find the beginning of your collarbone, you're going to go down about 1 inch. There's a little valley in between your collarbone and your ribs on either side of your sternum, and you want to tap in that little valley. Okay. And the next one is underneath your arms, and it's basically right where your bra strap is. So I tend to hug myself. And then underneath your bra, like right where the underwire is on your ribs, just below your underwire. And then the next one is on your wrists, and there's 3 spots. There's one on the outside, middle, and outside. These are the acupressure points. So when I'm tapping my wrists together, I'm turning them a little bit. Okay. Another way to do it is like this. So you're kind of getting all the spots with your different fingers. And then the last one is up on top of your head. And you do the middle or both, like the sides? I do the middle. Okay. If you think about a child when they're born and they have got that little soft spot
Yes.
in their head, that's where you want to kind of focus your attention.
Great.
Okay, so when we're tapping on those different repeater phrases, we're going to say things like, tapping on your eyebrow point, you're going to say things like, I'm so overwhelmed. And then we're going to move to the next spot and say, for whatever reason.
Okay.
And then we move to the next spot. And so we just keep going around and around to the spots. And I'm going to lead us through this next tapping round. But I just wanted to let you know that after each repeater phrase, we advance to the next spot.
Okay.
And it's okay if you find a spot, like a lot of people find the collarbone spot, feels like there's either extra tension there or it feels extra good there. Just keep tapping on that spot.
Okay.
So you're not going to get it wrong if you stay there for a while and just hover on that one. But I'm just going through the tapping points as a guide for people to understand how it actually works when you're using all the points.
Yeah, that's really helpful. Thank you.
Of course. Okay, so we've got your number is at a 6. So we're going to start tapping on your karate chop point, putting those karate chop points together, and you're just going to repeat after me, okay?
Okay.
Even though I feel so overwhelmed today.
Even though I feel so overwhelmed today. I feel really unsettled and jittery.
Best.
And I feel this tension and heat in my chest.
I love and honor all my thoughts and feelings about this anyway.
I love and honor all my thoughts and feelings about this anyway.
Even though I feel so overwhelmed today.
Even though I feel so overwhelmed today.
My mind is racing.
My mind is racing.
And I have all these open loops that I need to resolve.
And I have all these open loops that I need to resolve.
And I feel triggered a lot of the time.
And I feel triggered a lot of the time with all of these spinning thoughts in my head.
And I just want to honor how hard that is.
And I just want to honor how hard that is.
How hard that it makes it for me to function in my day.
How hard it makes it to function, for me to function in my day.
And I love and honor all parts of who I am anyway.
And I love and honor all parts of who I am anyway.
Even though I feel so overwhelmed.
Even though I feel so overwhelmed.
With 2 young kids at home.
With 2 young kids at home.
And all of my other responsibilities.
And all of my other responsibilities.
I feel so depleted.
I feel so depleted.
I have no sense of myself anymore.
I have no sense of myself anymore.
And it's really hard for me to move through life that way.
And it's really hard for me to move through life that way.
Being a mom is so much different than I expected.
Being a mom is so much different than I expected.
And it's easy for me to judge and criticize myself when I'm not feeling overwhelmed with happiness about this.
And it's easy for me to judge and criticize myself when I'm feeling overwhelmed and I'm not happy with this.
And I love and honor myself anyway.
Sorry.
I love and honor myself anyway. Okay. And I honor my courage in tackling this issue.
And I honor my courage in tackling this issue.
Okay, now we're going to go up to the eyebrow point and start our repeater phrases.
Okay. I'm so overwhelmed right now.
Then we're going to advance to the side of the eye.
For whatever reason.
Under the eye. Or for a million reasons.
Or for a million reasons.
My thoughts are spinning in my head constantly.
My thoughts are spinning in my head constantly.
And my thoughts are racing and I feel jittery.
And my thoughts are racing and I feel jittery.
And I'm holding all this tension in my chest.
And I'm holding all this tension in my chest.
There's a part of me that feels like I'm failing somehow.
There's a part of me that feels like I'm failing somehow.
Because it shouldn't be this hard.
Because it shouldn't be this hard.
And I judge and criticize myself a lot about how much I'm struggling.
And I judge and criticize myself a lot about how much I'm struggling.
Life is just so much different than I expected it to be.
Life is so much different than I expected it to be.
I'm giving everything to my kids and my family life.
I'm giving everything to my kids and my family life.
And I'm really struggling with my sense of self right now.
And I'm really struggling with my sense of self right now.
Maybe even struggling with my identity.
Maybe even struggling with my identity.
And feeling like this should be easier.
And feeling like this should be easier.
I should be embracing all of this so much more.
I should be embracing this so much more.
But a big part of me struggles with it.
But a big part of me struggles with it.
And I just want to honor how hard that is.
And I just want to honor how hard that is. It's so much different than what I thought it was going to be.
It's so much harder than I thought it was going to be.
It's so much harder than what I thought it was going to be.
I'm overwhelmed and triggered a lot of the time.
I'm overwhelmed and triggered a lot of the time.
With these spinning thoughts in my head.
With these spinning thoughts in my head.
Things that I have to do. And it really is a struggle for me.
And it really is a struggle for me.
But of course it's a struggle.
But of course it's a struggle. This is a complete shift in my identity.
From being a single, confident woman.
From being a single, confident woman.
To being a mom with a family is a huge shift.
To being a mom with a family is a huge shift.
And it's taking me a minute to accommodate to that.
Yeah, it's taking me a minute to accommodate to that.
And I keep expecting myself to feel better about all of it.
And I keep expecting myself to feel better about all of it.
But instead, I really want to honor how hard this shift has been today.
But instead, I really want to honor how hard this shift has been today.
How hard it is to keep moving even when I'm so depleted.
How hard it is to keep moving even when I'm so depleted.
How hard it is to continue to give everything I have to my family.
How hard it is to continue to give everything I have to my family.
And still feel intact myself.
And still feel intact myself.
It's really hard.
It's really hard.
And I just want to honor that at the deepest level.
And I just want to honor that at the deepest level.
And I want to honor that it's going to continue to shift.
And I want to honor that it's going to continue to shift.
The more energy I can find for myself,
the more energy that I can find for myself,
the more time I can carve out of my day for me.
The more time I can carve out of my day for me.
To do something just for me.
To do something just for me.
Is going to be more helpful than I realize.
Is going to be more helpful than I realize.
And it takes a lot of courage to make those changes.
And it takes a lot of courage to make those changes.
And I deeply honor how hard it is.
And I deeply honor how hard it is.
This transition to being a mom.
This transition to being a mom.
And giving away all of my energy.
And giving away all of my energy.
Thankfully, it won't be like this forever.
Thankfully, it won't be like this forever.
And I am learning how to take better care of myself.
And I'm learning how to take better care of myself.
I want to teach my kids how to take better care of themselves.
I want to teach my kids how to take better care of themselves.
And to do that, I have to show up differently.
And to do that, I have to show up differently.
They need to see that I honor my own time too.
They need to see that I honor my own time too.
And that I am an important person as well.
And that I am an important person as well.
All this overwhelm. I want to bring my energy back down in my body right now.
I want to bring my energy back into my body right now.
For a moment and just focus on my breath.
Stop those spinning thoughts for a moment.
It's okay to just focus on my breath.
It's okay to just focus on my breath.
Everything will still get done.
Everything will still get done.
But if I can keep my energy in my body.
But if I can keep my energy in my body.
Instead of spinning in my head.
Instead of spinning in my head.
I will feel much more peaceful.
I will feel much more peaceful.
And I want that for myself and my family.
And I want that for myself and my family.
Approach.
And I deeply honor my courage in taking this approach.
Okay. Take a nice deep breath, Jenna. Okay. Keeping your eyes closed. I just want you to sink back down into your body and see where you are 0 to 10 again with that feeling of overwhelm.
Yeah, it's like a 2.
Oh, that was a big drop.
Yes. I could feel the relief as we were doing it. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's
and
really
the
intense.
relief and this release.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really interesting to get to.
So just for your listeners, I do want to kind of put a microscope on what's left in that 2. So it's because when you get down to a 2, it's still there. And if you have the time to do more tapping to get it down to a 0, then that's really ideal. So what's left in that 2, and what's something, just trying to give your listeners a voice too, to really honor and acknowledge that there is still something there. So let's do that for you and see if we can get you down to a 0.
Okay. So just basically for me to ask what it is.
Yeah. Tell me what's left in that 2 for you.
For the 2, I just can see there's like certain things, like responsibilities that I have that I know they're unresolved, because I do know the action I need to take is to contact a couple people about this. And so I think, even in that, where I'm like, oh, if I were to, like, even I could just write it down right now, where I think it would help my brain and my body to just release that even more of like, okay, I know I have it written down. It doesn't have to stay swirling in my head. And I know the action I need to take later. You know?
Do you want to do like another quick tapping round?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see if we can't get you down to a 0.
Okay.
This time, just for time's sake, I'm just going to start directly on the eyebrow point so we can try and hurry the process along. Okay. This remaining overwhelm. I still have things to do today.
I still have things to do today.
I can't let my guard down completely.
I can't let my guard down completely.
I still have responsibilities.
I still have responsibilities.
That I can't let go of.
That I can't let go of.
Because people are counting on me.
Because people are counting on me.
And I take that responsibility very seriously.
And I take that responsibility very seriously.
So I don't know that I can relax completely.
So I don't know that I can relax completely.
I've never gone through my day completely relaxed.
I've never gone through my day completely relaxed.
So I don't even know what that would be like. Can I be peaceful when I'm contacting these people?
Can I be peaceful when I'm contacting these people?
Or can I be peaceful even when my to-do list isn't complete?
Or can I be peaceful even when my to-do list isn't complete?
I really would like to experience how that feels.
I would really like to experience how that feels.
Having all of my energy in my body.
Having all of my energy in my body.
And moving forward with a feeling of compassion for myself.
And moving forward with a feeling of compassion for myself.
And authentic love for my kids and my family.
And authentic love for my kids and my family.
If I can get back to that place. My tasks will be so much easier. I'm not going to sit around and be lazy with this peacefulness. It's just an energy that I want to move forward with. I want to let go of any remaining overwhelm. I want to be completely in my body. Completely in this present moment.
Knowing
Knowing that everything is okay in this present moment.
Knowing that everything is okay in this present moment.
That there is no immediate threat.
That there is no immediate threat.
And it's okay for me to feel peaceful.
And it's okay for me to feel peaceful.
I can still get things done when I'm peaceful.
I can still get things done when I'm peaceful.
So I'm letting go of any remaining overwhelm.
So I'm letting go of any remaining overwhelm.
I'm releasing it from every cell in my body.
I'm releasing it from every cell in my body.
I'm releasing it from every fiber of my being.
I'm releasing it from every fiber of my being.
And I am going to be peaceful today.
And I am going to be peaceful today.
And I deeply honor my courage in taking this approach.
And I deeply honor my courage in taking this approach.
It's so different from what I'm used to.
It's so different from what I'm used to.
It might even feel a little uncomfortable.
It might even feel a little uncomfortable.
It's just outside of my comfort zone, though.
It's just outside of my comfort zone, though.
I'm still safe.
I'm still safe.
And I might even be more efficient in this state.
And I might even be more efficient in this state.
And I deeply honor my courage.
And I deeply honor my courage.
In letting go of this overwhelm completely.
In letting go of this overwhelm completely.
Okay, nice deep breath.
Wow. I feel significantly lighter. And like my body and my mind is way, like just peaceful. Way more at peace.
Just quiet, huh?
Quiet. Yeah. And what I noticed, because right now I do feel I'm at a 0 with overwhelm.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah. And what I noticed, though, that I think really helped was that what you were leading me through and what was being said was true. It's like, this is true. This is, where it's like, this is how I have been feeling. These are some of the lies I've believed even, or this is how I have felt. Like it is true. I have these responsibilities that need to get done. But then there's like the reframe, like we got to at the end. And I just feel like, it is true to be able to acknowledge and name, like, this is the reality of what I've been experiencing. This is how I have felt. This is the weight of all these responsibilities. And here's what's also true in that, and just getting to acknowledge it. Yeah. Was really helpful. And it is interesting too, because I was noticing how my mind, as I started getting more calm, it would be like, oh, what's something to worry about, and just because that's the habit of the state that it's been in. And then that's like, it's like looking for something, but then having you guide me through and what's being said, I was like, but this is what's true. And it's not saying that I don't have any worries in my life. There aren't any like I do. However, it doesn't all have to get done right now. And it was just so helpful because I'm not pretending, I'm not faking, like, or ignoring it. Just like you said earlier, we're actually saying what's true and then highlighting what's even more true with this that gives different perspective to let go and release. Yeah. Yeah.
And I do want to point out too that you mentioned what's something that I have to worry about. Like, our subconscious mind is constantly scanning the horizon for danger of any kind. Yeah. Danger that's going to affect our perception of ourselves, danger that's going, like, how am I going to meet these expectations that other people have of me? Like, there's so many things that our subconscious mind is constantly scanning and getting us triggered and into that anxious state.
Yes.
So, and that's not something that we have control over until we have been able to really neutralize the root cause of that trauma. Yeah. So until that time, it's natural for you to look out on the horizon and try to find danger. And I wouldn't judge or criticize yourself if you keep getting back into that overwhelmed state. Yeah. That's a normal, natural thing for our bodies and especially our subconscious mind to do.
I'm glad that you pointed that out because I think it gives us a realistic expectation that it's part of our wiring. It's part of our experiences. And in the midst of it, we can also do things to help our minds calm down at the same, like we can intercept it. And there's something that we can actively do as we work towards healing, but it's not that we'll never feel that.
You're going to continue to feel that.
Exactly. When you were saying, in the process of it, like there's no immediate threat. I am safe right now. I was like, oh yeah, that's true. I am okay. But it's so amazing how often our brain will try to convince us otherwise. So.
And our brain is really irrational in the way that it does this. So, for example, might be looking at, say you're planning an event and there's a part of you that really wants to get everything perfect.
Yeah.
And there's a part of you that actually feels like it's almost life or death if something goes wrong.
Yes.
Right? So it feels like the intensity of the emotion doesn't actually match what is happening on the outside, but that's because our subconscious mind doesn't know how to, it doesn't have a scale for danger. It just is danger or not.
Oh, interesting. Yes. So there's not a way to decide the level of threat, basically.
No.
Okay.
So you're left just feeling completely anxious and overwhelmed. Don't exactly know why, and thinking, I don't understand. It's not that big of a deal. But internally, It feels life or death, and so extreme.
Right. Oh my gosh. That's very helpful to shed some light on as far as just understanding the way that our brain is. So that's why then we also have to use our rational brain to this is, to help regulate, but then a tool like this to help get our bodies calm and connect it to our brain, just so we get out of our heads and into our bodies to help calm ourselves down, which I love. So I'm curious, as we're kind of coming towards the end of this episode, I have a couple more questions for you.
Of course.
So for any mom who may feel the guilt that comes with taking time for herself to do something like this, how can they reframe tapping as an act of responsibility rather than indulgence?
Because it will make them a better mom. It will make them a better mom, far and away. It's so profound, the difference that just giving yourself a few hours a week makes. And just feeling grounded in your body again, feeling like you can fill up so that you're not giving from an empty cup anymore. I mean, it really is profound. And you're teaching your kids how to respect yourself. If they see you respecting you and giving yourself time and making yourself important, you're teaching it to them as well. If you have a daughter, for example, and they see you constantly sacrificing, constantly depleting yourself, they're going to think that that's what they have to do as an adult and a mom also. Yeah, right. There has to be balance in there somewhere. So teach your kids how to take care of themselves and honor their own time and their own energy.
Yes, getting to model it for them in this way, which is so great for them to get to see this. Because I'm thinking of especially in at home, and when it's really loud and there's a lot going on at the end of the day, typically around dinner time is when it gets really chaotic. And I'm just thinking of okay, I know I could, when my husband's off work, and because my kids are still pretty little, so him to be able to take over for even 5 minutes. And I'm literally thinking I would go into my closet to get far, far away, sit down on the ground and just get to do this for those few minutes to kind of reset and help myself before I come back out to them. And it will help me show up differently and better and not be so rattled, because I don't think I don't know, as we were doing this, I was if I don't intercept the spiral and the it doesn't just go away on its own. That's what typically that's when we'll look for coping mechanisms to help. Like it could be alcohol, it could be social media, it could be just numbing out to Netflix, right? Because we're trying to stop it, but those things don't actually fill us up. They don't really do the thing that we think it will, but that's what we're looking for. We're looking for relief. And this is a tool that's really healthy and helpful, and it will actually give us the thing we need. I'm wondering, so as I was sharing, you know, how I'm like, okay, there's that level 2. Where is the overwhelm coming from? I think it helped to go from the 6 to the 2 and then think of still, like what's still there, and realizing there's a couple of these tasks, like I know that need to get done and they're time sensitive. Like I have to, you know, contact these people today. There's a level of responsibility I have and it has to get done today. It helped to be able to think and name, like, this is what it is, and then put it on paper and be like, okay, I know what it is that I need to do, because also sometimes those feelings come up for a reason where we need to like take some kind of action, right? But not all of it. And so it helped to then be like, okay, think through it more clearly and rationally, to where then knowing I had that captured on paper, my brain didn't have to try and remember it and keep this open loop. It really helped to allow my body to relax and like let go of the rest. And so I know in the last podcast episode with you, we talked about how we don't want to just, you know, use these grounding techniques to ignore, but like we can then get curious about what was that there, and was there anything that is legitimate that like, and is there an action I need to take? Is there a need that needs to be met, you know? So could you talk a little bit about that too? So like for some moms, because I feel like sometimes we can get caught in that cycle of like constant overwhelm, and then we calm ourselves down just to get overwhelmed again. But we sometimes those emotions are trying to tell us something. And so how we can get curious about it, because there's a need that needs to be met, and how we can get it met in a healthy way, you know? Yeah.
Typically there is more underneath our feeling of overwhelm. Overwhelm is kind of a blanket term for stress or anxiety. And what typically triggers us, and I do want to make a note, I'm just going to kind of back up and go a little bit sideways for a moment, because you're talking about making logical decisions, you know, getting ourselves to a place where we can make logical decisions, but we can't do that when we're in a state of overwhelm. All of the electrical signals have stopped at our stress center in our brain, the fight or flight center, and they're not able to get to that prefrontal cortex where we can make logical sound decisions. So it takes de-escalating over and over again that part of us that wants to be in the alarm state.
Yes.
It takes de-escalating that in order to be able to access this. And so that's why tapping is so profound in a moment, because it can give us the ability to make those logical sound decisions and get curious. So if nothing else, start tapping first, because when you're in that overwhelmed, anxious state, you can't understand what's underneath it. You know, you have to actually engage with it. And doing that tapping at first, just talking about the symptoms and what's going on for day to day, will allow you the ability to see things more clearly, because then you can access that important part of your brain. You can see things more clearly, see them as they are, instead of actually being a dangerous situation. And then that will provide you the clarity to go, what's actually underneath this? What is it that I'm actually afraid of? What is it that feels dangerous? Like, if I didn't accomplish these tasks today, what is the horrible thing that would happen?
Yes. Oh, right? That's so good.
And then you're getting to, ideally, you're getting to underlying beliefs about who you are, and about if you don't accomplish these things, what are people going to judge and criticize you? Are you going to it's not going to meet your expectations for yourself. Like, what is it exactly? Mm-hmm. And then once you have that answer, then you can get a little more curious, but you have to remove that triggered state first in order to be able to access it.
Oh my gosh, that is such a great explanation. And I'm just glad that you could speak so clearly on that, like what this does, because then we're not so emotionally charged. Right. And then it actually allows us to be able to make better, like more clear, confident decisions. Like we can see more clearly because now we are not stuck in fight or flight.
Yes.
And this emotional charge where we get clouded out and we can't see accurately this person, like, is this as big as it feels? Is it not? And then I just love that because it is a process. Like, it's a process of then being able to access the part of our brain that helps us logically, helps us make sound decisions, see clearly, like yes. problem solve, and then get to what's underneath, but not feeling so intense, like that high level of intensity that keeps us from like, oh God, I just can't, Yeah.
I mean, when you think you're in a life or death situation, you can't think logically in those moments. Everything is about just staying safe. Yes. And that's all you can process.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's so good. Oh my gosh. I'm so glad that we got to do this today. And for anybody that is listening, I would highly encourage you to actually watch this on YouTube because it would be helpful. Like that's what I was thinking of it as watching Amy, watching you get to walk me through and see, okay, what is the thing? With what is being said, where are the tapping points that we're walking through for them to then be able to follow along with you? And with that, I wanted to highlight your Soar with Tapping app. So can you share a little bit about that as well as where people can connect with you to learn more?
Yeah. With the app, it's got all of the things that we just went through. It has videos showing the tapping points, and with there's over 160 different tapping scripts, and with each one there is an avatar that will show you it along the way where you should be tapping with little blinking lights.
Perfect. Yes.
And then you hear my voice saying tap here, tap here, tap here, and this is what you should be repeating. So it really is just a way of holding people's hands through kind of this emotional process, because I know you can't make logical sound decisions in those moments. And I can't even think straight when I'm in those states. And that's why it's really hard to start tapping. But when I've got somebody else leading me through it, that's what makes it a lot easier to get to the place where you can think logically.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking is like how valuable your app is because you don't have to worry about trying to have the words to describe what it is you're feeling, what you're going, like what's going on. They can literally just follow along as you lead them through that. I think it's amazing that you have all those scripts and then they'll really just get the hang of it. And you're like, okay, like I can do this in the car. I can do this anywhere really. And now I've done this enough to where it will just naturally flow a lot more. So yeah. Once you're able to verbalize, what it is you're feeling more and more, it gets so much easier along the way. Yes.
So, you can find Soar with Tapping on the Google or Apple Play stores, or you can always email me, amy@soarwithtapping.com.
Amazing. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Amy, for today. I love, like I love anything experiential, anything I actually get to physically do and practice. Yeah. So I'm really grateful for you today and coming back on and getting to shoot this episode and just for the other women and moms that this will get to help. So thank you so much.
Oh, you're so welcome. I really had fun.
You. Well, if this episode helped you feel calmer, please share it with another mom who needs that moment of peace today. Thank you so much for listening, friend. I cannot wait to talk with you next time. Thanks for listening to Let's Get Real. If you've been feeling stretched thin, stuck in survival mode, or like you've lost yourself in motherhood, I made something just for you. It's called the Overwhelmed Mom's Guide, and it's totally free. Inside, I walk you through simple steps to help you reconnect with who you are, find a bit more breathing room in your day, and start to feel like you again. You can grab it now. Just click the link in the show notes. You don't have to keep doing this alone. Let's take the next step together.